All right. Let's do this. Just waiting for myself to appear. Fantastic. Let's get this party started. Hello, Matthias. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So we're going to dive into this. Theo, what's up? Vern, how you guys doing? We're going to cover Illustrator and InDesign updates. That just happened 2 days ago, so that is what's going on. Just making sure the audio is okay. We got a little guitar in the background. Brazil in the house. I love it. Who doesn't love Brazil, though, right? Everybody loves Brazil. So I'm going to dive into this. So again, we just released this update 2 days ago, so Wednesday night specifically, and I wanted to take you. All right, cool. Let's do this. Okay, so hello from Austria. Good to see you. Been awesome. So that's what I'm going to cover. Excuse me, Illustrator and InDesign updates. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. California in the house. I'm going to be there on Tuesday. So that's what's going on. Quite a few updates, guys, just so you know. I can kind of click through all of these. Look at if my big old head would be out of the way, right? So essentially, we have a lot of things going on. And basically, I'm going to cover all of these, but you could find these on the InDesign What's New page and the Illustrator What's New page. Okay, so essentially we've done a lot of work, and you might not see like crazy showy jazz hands like tools, because honestly, like, those are the things that grab headlines, but those aren't the things that necessarily always like help you get the job done, right? So that's what we're focused on, helping you get the job done at the end of the day. Hello from Syria, Amar in the house. Good to have you here, man. Uzbekistan, all around the world. Good to see you guys. So image trace, thank Awful Eye Media, thank you for bringing that up. So image trace is good. Is it better than it is now? I mean, it's already pretty good. I'm wondering what you're talking about specifically, but there has actually been a lot going on in terms of, you know, updating and stability enhancements. So if you're talking stability, we can cover that, but I want to dive into this right now. Let me save this file. Okay, so InDesign has a ton of, we've updated the UI. We've given you starter files and stability fix the hood. So let's dive into that. And even if we just take a look right here, I will just click over. So we've actually updated the UI in InDesign, and that's where I'm going to start. Okay, so right here, you can see I've actually been doing some work, but we've actually redesigned over like 84 elements. So when you launch InDesign, it's just going to feel more clean because we eliminated a lot of like drop shadows and just unnecessary visuals that you didn't need. Okay, so you'll notice it is cleaner. In fact, if I showed you the document, that's what it was in Illustrator. This is the document that shows everything that we've updated. So again, this I'm talking about sort of you know, over 84, and then we just kind of start to lose track, and that doesn't count for the 3 different sizes for high DPI and all that good stuff. Okay, so you just notice it's going to be a lot cleaner when you launch it because we've updated all of this good stuff. It's a little Drover UI. And in general, what we can also do is if you go into Preferences, go into Interface, boom. All right, Theo, thanks, buddy. So Theo just mentions Illustrator still isn't great for stability, but we've been working on stability as well. You've had a few bugs when you zoom in between 2 documents. Interesting. So, yeah, I'd be interested in, that sounds like a specific case, which most bugs are. So yeah, I'd kind of have to try that and see if we can help you there. But let us know about these things just like you're doing, and we can get you squared away. So notice right here, first thing we notice, Let's zoom in on that. We actually have different color themes. Okay, so not only did we redesign so many of the icons and interface and all that stuff, but we had to make multiple versions. We need to make sure it stands out and works for these different color themes. As you can go to brighter, depending on what you can even see it. I think it even, like, you can get it so bright that you could start to see it sort of shine on my face more. It's that bright. But you could obviously pick your color theme just like the other apps, okay, aside from I don't know which one you guys like. I'm actually curious if you guys, Theo, if you prefer light or dark. I'm kind of curious as you guys what you guys think, if you prefer light or dark, okay? Dark feels more modern to me, but I also see the appeal of light, just making it so everything's pretty easy to see. I think when I need to focus on the interface, that's when I want it light, but when I need to focus on the design, I want it to be dark. So Daniel, what do you think? Do you like it dark or you like it light? You now have that ability. No fuss. That's what we do. We say, hey, you know what? Too many people out there. Let's just try to please everybody by giving, you know, sort of 5 different interfaces. All right. So this is in InDesign. Again, the stability fixes I can already talk about. There's other things. In fact, let me just switch over and take a look. Give me 1 second. Whoop. Kind of hiding chat. Oh yeah, let me show you the big one, okay? So we've talked about the interface already, right? We've adjusted the interface, and now we can go to File, New, Document, or Command-N, and what opens up is not only my recent items, sure that's fine, but if you go into Print, Web, and Mobile, you'll see all these layouts. So this is huge, just having all of these various layouts that you can pick from. All these templates, a total of, what is it, something like over 40, like 45 plus layouts that you can pick from, right? So you can check out this news magazine layout, see a preview of it, right? This looks pretty cool. This might be a good place to start. And honestly, I think this is a great way to learn InDesign, is just check out a template, download it after you've previewed it, and you can dive right into, you know, dealing with it and editing it yourself. All right, so, okay, so we have a vote for lighter. We have a vote for dark. I'm trying to keep track. 2 votes for light. 2 votes for dark. Wow, we're split on this already. Okay, cool. Let's open this. Here's the theme. Obviously, we'd want to drop a photo right in here, but again, you can jump in and edit this accordingly. The cool thing is it syncs all the fonts. So if it's using a Typekit font, you're going to have that font available to you immediately. You know, second edition. I could take this. Let's just select this second. I can access the different open type fonts for this particular font. I actually might want to change it because I actually want to show you just something really simple. Let's go right here. Second edition. Anyways, I was going to kind of dive into some previous features that you may or may not be aware of, but let's not sweat that right now, right? But you can also swap out the alternates for these letters. But the key thing is obviously I have this template and I can scroll down to all the various pages. You can see them right in here. You're well and you're right. And you're welcome because all these are free, right? So no need to start from scratch. You have a place to start from. Done and done. Cool. Let's move on. Dark, dark, dark. More votes for dark. Okay, cool. For a night mode, does it do it based on sort of your time of day? Right, so then from those themes, you end up swapping that out, and you end up with the layout you're gunning for, which is kind of what I have going on in here. Let's move on from InDesign. Again, I just can't emphasize this enough, the fact that we've sort of revamped the entire interface, and not only that, you can now pick your interface theme, actually one of 4, and we can continue on our way. Let's move on, right? Again, love InDesign. That's the big thing. People don't ask for new features in InDesign a lot. They want stability, and that's why we have over 21 stability fixes And this is just this month. So remember, we just had another release a couple months ago. So let's dive into... Let's get rid of that, because Illustrator should be open right behind me, right? Let's hide this as well. We can dive into Illustrator now. So I want to go through these features. I'm a huge Illustrator fan. Hopefully you are as well. Just thinking out loud. You're just typing out loud, huh? Jurgman, good to see you. Jay, good to see you, buddy. Oh, yes. All right, so here's where we are. And actually, this is something I've been working on, by the way. It's kind of cool. So I'm doing this race, this run, and our team name is We Thought They Said Rum. So jokes, yeah, jokes, right? But let's move on to what Illustrator has. Illustrator has, I'm going to show you crop images easily. We can get into sort of the new document features, sped that up. I would love to show you color themes, which I'm going to do, and we can talk about stability enhancements. You know, you're really not going to be able to see those. You're just going to have to trust me there. Okay, so that's your reason alone to update. It's just for the stability enhancements alone. Okay, but let's take a look at the first one, which is going to be cropping images, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'd love to put an image back in the background for this design. So right back here, let's just grab one of these. This happens just to be an Adobe stock image. Dropping it on, right? I'm just going to resize this because honestly, this is a pretty big layout, and all I really want is this pirate ship in the center, right? That's all I really want from this image, is just to put that back there, kind of like that, and make sure that guy's out of the way. And you'll end up with these Illustrator files that are just huge because you have these huge, you know, images that you're not necessarily like using the whole image for, right? Plus, I don't want to have to necessarily open up Photoshop just to crop the image, right? So in this case, I just want to crop out the center part. Right up here at the top, if I zoom in on that, you can see it says crop image. Cool. Easy enough. You lift. You lift, bro. All right, bro. We're going to crop this image right up here at the top. Okay, selecting crop image. I'm showing you this because it says, hey, you know what? Cropping in a linked file will actually embed a copy of the original. All right, so the original file and the linked location is not affected. So it's basically saying, hey, this guy right over here, this image is not going to get affected at all. It's not going to hurt you, but you know what? We're going to embed. We're going to go ahead and embed it, right? It embeds the image, gives me those crops that I expect around it. So now I can go ahead and make it smaller and more appropriate for my design. Easy enough. You guys know how this crop works. I don't need to bore you with this, right? Click apply, boom, right? What if I need to crop it again? Click crop image, right? I can crop it down some more if I want to. But essentially, this is going to make my file size much smaller, which is good. All right, so crop image done and done. Let's move on. I want to move on to my favorite new feature. I love this because I think we kind of dealt with this time where we were dealing with color themes and way we used color versus Creative Cloud libraries. We had colors in multiple places, and this is why I want to actually show you the new Adobe Color Themes panel. Okay, so we can see it right here. I will pull it out. See this gorgeous color wheel, right? That I can manipulate all I want. Okay, I can either deal with, here we go. This is one I want to grab. See how this one is my main color? But I can create my own theme. And then I have a lot of flexibility when it comes to locking colors together. Okay, so you can select one as the active color. That one's currently my active color. But nonetheless, I can pick through colors using a wheel or sliders. I can explore, right? We get that idea. We can sort of pick out colors as well if I wanted to add something in here. And that's what I'm going to do right now, just so you can see something that gets selected. Let's do something like that. Obviously, I can pick different colors based on those color themes, and I can go into my themes, right? So this is actually will show me all the themes, okay, available in all of my libraries. So I have quite a few, but I actually want to take this to the next level. And to answer your question about embedded images makes the files less light. Yes. But if you're not embedding your images, you have to make sure you zip up and include the linked images, right? So there's a pro and con to it. It's sometimes just easier just to have the one Illustrator file with the embedded images. Otherwise, you just have to make sure you include them. Okay, so if you resize the document and all that stuff, it's going to contain the image like in Photoshop. Yeah, technically when you resize content, you're using the artboard tool right over here. So you're resizing the artboard and then you adjust everything accordingly. So, you know, that's how that works. So it works a little bit different in Illustrator. Okay, so back to what I'm working on, which I'm going to open this up. All right, so here we are. Clicking over here, my color themes, right? Let's place this right here. Let me show you that I'm actually using right here, what I have open right now here in the center, by the way, happens to be Adobe Capture. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of Adobe Capture, but if I show you this, this is just my phone. We can see it right here. Okay, I could launch Adobe Capture. Any color I capture is going to go into my color themes folder. So I can add another one, just take from the camera, you get a quick preview of a very dirty lens, but essentially I'll just like point it at this. I'm going to point it at my Indiana Jones character right here, right? Because he's so cool, right? I could tap on it to freeze and start to adjust any one of these colors. This is actually pretty neutral. It's almost too neutral. I might even drop in these color squares back there and capture accordingly, and it's going to sync to my Creative Cloud library. So let's do something like that. Tap to freeze. Adjust accordingly. That actually looks a lot better, right? Record it so I can edit that color. This again is based on the image. I'm going to click next. I can call this Indie. You guys are probably aware of Adobe Capture, but allows me to capture colors, patterns, shapes, okay? But there's nothing in this library, otherwise I'd show you all this cool stuff. But there are 3 different color themes, okay? So that's all going inside of Pirate Stuff. I move that over. I go to My Themes. I'll just change this to Pirate Stuff. Give it a second to sync. Come on, sync, little guy. It will actually sync, and we'll see that show up, and then I can just pick the appropriate color like I'm doing right now, okay? So I can pick that color, say, hey, you know what, I want to go with more of this teal color. Let's take that and move that up to the top, a little higher, and change this mode to say darken or something, right? So this is kind of what I wanted. I wanted something with a tint, and I just used a color theme that came from Adobe Capture that I've captured earlier. You guys get the idea? That's looking better, hopefully. Right? I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm still working on it. Okay, so what's the best practice for embedded versus not embedding? What I would usually do is I usually keep it linked until until it's pretty much done and I'm ready to either, maybe I need to print it or archive it or whatever. But I like having everything in one Illustrator file because I've had situations where I've opened up Illustrator files and the links are broken and I have to re-find files. So I would say you can keep them linked up until you're ready to sort of finalize the project, whether it's printing it or archiving it or whatever, and then I'd start embedding that content because it just... Plus a lot of the things that you need to do to an image is going to require you to embed, because somebody mentioned image trace earlier. Well, you need to embed the file if you're going to do that. All right, pre-release squad already knows the lovely image crop feature. Love it. Fantastic. Done and done, but I just added a little color mode here. You guys get the idea. Let's change it to these different colors and see what happens. Kind of find something kind of unique maybe. that maybe works, maybe doesn't. All right, I like the teal. Teal works for me. Awesome. You are welcome, Count Zero. What else shall we tackle, right? So you guys kind of get the idea there. You understand that there are templates not only in Illustrator, but also in InDesign. If you aren't familiar, they are available in Illustrator. If I dive right in here, I can go to print, film, video, web. This art and illustration, again, in Illustrator is fantastic because you have some amazing ones that you can start running with immediately. Let's take a look at the Saturn Zoo characters and get a preview of them and download them. Oh, okay, so Art Yuppie, you wanna actually have your make the crop image a linked image in the future. Curious about that. Let's open up that file. Boom. Love these templates. Let me think about that for a second. So once I've cropped it, right up here, I can unembed it if I want to. So unembed will just make it a cropped image on my desktop or wherever I want to put it. So you can do that if you want to, and hopefully that's kind of what you're thinking. So linked image would be linked on your hard drive somewhere. It doesn't really give you the option to link it back to a library item. Typically my stuff's linked to a library item, Creative Cloud library. All right, pre-release is something, yeah. I would have to check on, I'm not sure what the rules are around pre-release and all of that good stuff. But all I'm really showing you is everything that would happen if you hit updates right up here if you go to the help menu. Somebody mentioned sort of submitting features and bugs and feature requests can be done right through this link right here. Okay, so this is how we've solved our 21 stability fixes in InDesign and all of our various updates to Illustrator as well. So that's kind of how this stuff is done. So it's really kind of driven by you guys. Cool. All right, cool. What else shall we work on, guys? I'm wrapping it up here. I don't know if you necessarily want to see the document that has all of the updates and everything. It's super lengthy and will probably bore you a little bit. And I think what I will do is I will paste in a URL for everything. But if we're talking, say, InDesign, here's a long list of sort of like all of the various sort of stability fixes that we've tackled. Okay, and they're little things that if you clicked outside, it crashes while deleting a row in the caption setup dialog box. It's just little things. I don't need to go through these with you. You guys get it. You just hit update and you kind of get what you get. So yeah, Evil Charisse, I think you first need to change your YouTube name if you want in a pre-release. Because I don't know how well Evil is going to go over. Just kidding. I'm just saying. Just do good. But in general, yeah, you do have to sign a pre-release and NDA just because you can't talk about that stuff, of course. Right? Even that document I just showed you is probably not, it's not kosher that I've shown it to you. But it's all that information is already out there. In fact, I will post that right now. All the various release notes for InDesign, and then there's some for Illustrator, and this is everything that I've just talked about. Okay. I did this in context menu for your text frame selection. That's what I actually showed you briefly. I was going to do this as well. Some ordinals and ligatures. So if you wanted to make the second superscript, you can do that directly. And this is the whole idea, is like working from within the context of your file as opposed to working in a dialog that's off to the side. Okay, so I'll make sure I paste that in the chat so you guys have that. And now you have it for InDesign new features. Photoshop, some of you might have seen that Photoshop also had an update, and those were bug fixes as well, okay? And an easy way to update, of course, all your apps is just through your Creative Cloud desktop app. You can see I've already updated those apps, and I have some other sneaky little ones in here, but in general, just make sure you hit update, and there's usually like a what's new link that will tell you, give you a link to what's new as well. Cool. Let me Illustrator. There you go. Why not do an image crop like InDesign and have a choice to discard data and embed? Yeah, kind of what you're thinking is sort of creating a clipping mask. So you could actually still do that, by the way. So if I took, let me grab a cool image. Let me grab some skull and crossbones. Why not? Let's grab this skull. I'll just show you another way of doing this. So here's just a skull. I'm just going to grab this skull, ungroup it. Just this piece is all I want for this file. I'll turn off everything else. Pasting this in. The other way to do things is to turn things into a clipping mask. So if I select both of these files, okay, so the skull and that image back there, right click, make clipping mask, right? Now that image is inside of that skull, okay? So this is a sort of non-destructive image crop, if you will. So I could have done just a regular square, but I thought it'd be more exciting to do a shape. But this is definitely like non-destructive. So I can go in here and I can move that around, get a better, ooh, yeah, like have this, maybe that's, you know, the teeth are kind of those windows right there, okay? So as you dive into it some more, you're probably gonna wanna use a clipping mask. It's been done plenty. All right. And concerning the app for mobile, I'll just show you one more time, guys, and then I will be done because I've gone for 30 minutes. Let me check with my boss. Yeah, so let me show you that real fast. Just to point out that it's called Adobe Capture. Okay, you can see it right here. Adobe Capture is available for free, and just use your same Adobe ID and all of those, whatever you capture, whether it's vectors or looks or colors or patterns, that will get synced to your Creative Cloud libraries panel, whichever one you pick. All right, but that is Adobe Capture. And that's how all the content got right in here. Color themes, boom. So cool. Can you make color separation on Illustrator now? Yeah, that is a good question. I actually don't know. I've never needed to be honest with you. I think you're dealing with photos, and that would typically be something that you would do in InDesign. So this kind of gets into whether you use InDesign or Illustrator or Photoshop. So kind of that color separation is something you do in InDesign. All right. Evil Therese, can I tell you anything about the new selfie app? I'm not sure what app you're talking about when you say that. I was talking about Adobe Capture earlier, and I don't know a selfie app. I'm interested in it though. My favorite one is Marco Polo, which is a video. It's sort of like a video walkie-talkie. You send videos back and forth to people. But that's not an Adobe app, and that wraps it up for me, guys. There's more I can talk about. There's like 1,000 things I want to do. Hopefully you kind of appreciate the design that I'm like slowly working on, right? I can release this clipping mask. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Look for this stuff online because I'm still working on this design and various similar designs. But that's all I have for you. Again, real fast, InDesign, just don't forget about the many free templates that you now get in InDesign. Let's not overlook that. We said, hey, here's 44 different files for web, mobile, and print. You want to use it? Sure, let's do it. See a preview. Why do we say web and mobile? Well, guess what? Did you know that you can I can select a mobile one, for instance? Grab one of these layouts. Ooh, let's grab this social media kit. See a preview of it, download it, and then I can actually publish online. So when you see web and mobile, just think of, potentially publishing online that way. So that's what I want to show you. Of course, there's nothing right in here. Right up here, if I click right here, publish online, that's how you do it, and actually we'll take you through how it's done. You're just basically going to get a link and you can share it with your friends. All right, cool. All right, guys, that's it for me, guys. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Published document stuff right there. That's all I have for you. Just kind of switching back over. And obviously everything that's happening. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be kind of out next week, but I will be online on Facebook on Monday. And yeah, there's always cool stuff going on. I encourage you to check out all the videos that have been posted. Hit the subscribe now button, quite frankly. And also off to the side, you can see all the different portfolio reviews that they've done at OFF, which is a festival, design festival in Barcelona. I'm looking at them now, like Velvet Spectrum happens to be my design hero. But they had some fantastic guests there, so check out those videos when you can. That's all I got for you. Just hit subscribe, and totally open into seeing what you guys want to see next time we are live. Would love it because we're doing this for you. That's all. Notice how you didn't have to sit through any ads. We're just doing this solely for you guys to learn. So thanks, Hare and Theo and Ihajo. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Amar, awesome. Thanks, guys, and we will talk.